All right, so get ready for this because we're going on a deep dive
That
today.
sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. We're talking about sandhill cranes, these birds.
Oh, yeah. I love them.
Yeah, they're incredible, right?
Yeah.
So they found fossils in Florida, like way back, almost 3 million years ago.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that wild? They've been around for so long. Talk about a species that knows how to adapt.
Well, and what's even more fascinating is those fossils show that the sandhill cranes back then
Yeah.
looked pretty much like the ones we see today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, the basic body plan, their height, the long legs, that red patch on their head, all of it.
So they kind of had it figured out from the beginning, huh?
Yeah, it's like they found what works, and they've just been rocking it for millions of years. Through ice ages, changing landscapes, the whole 9 yards.
Wow. Okay, so let's paint a picture for our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
We've got these ancient birds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not exactly small. I mean, we're talking almost 4 feet tall with wingspans over 6 feet.
Yeah, that's bigger than a lot of people.
Totally.
Okay.
Okay, so picture like a, I don't know, like a prehistoric pterodactyl, but way more graceful.
I love it.
And they've been making these incredible migrations, like, forever. Can you tell me more about that? Where did they even go?
Well, it really varies depending on the specific population of cranes. You've got some that don't travel that far, but others, they make these epic journeys. Thousands of miles.
Thousands.
Yeah, from way up north, like in Canada and Alaska, all the way down to the southern U.S. and Mexico for the winter.
No way. Imagine flying that far. I get tired just thinking about it.
Me too.
But how do they even do it?
Yeah.
Like, how do they know where they're going? Is it all instinct?
It's actually a pretty incredible combination of things. They use visual cues, so think landmarks, the stars.
Yeah.
But they also seem to have this ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field.
So they have like a built-in GPS.
Exactly. It's like they have this internal compass that guides them across continents. Pretty amazing, huh?
It's mind-blowing. Now, you see these pictures, and sometimes videos even, of these huge flocks of cranes migrating, like thousands of them in the air at once.
It's a sight to behold, isn't it?
Totally. It's like this giant swirling cloud of feathers. So why do they fly in these massive groups?
Well, there's a few reasons. For one, safety in numbers. If you're a predator,
Yeah,
it's a lot harder to single out one bird in a flock that big.
that makes sense. But are there other reasons?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's also incredibly energy efficient to fly in a big group. You know, that classic V formation they fly in?
Yeah, the one you see in all the pictures.
Exactly. Well, when they do that, they can actually use the updrafts created by the birds in front of them.
So it's kind of like drafting, like cyclists do in a race.
That's a great analogy. It's like teamwork in the sky. They're helping each other conserve energy so they can cover those huge distances. But even with that, these migrations aren't a walk in the park.
Right. I mean, it can't be easy.
Not at all. They're dealing with all sorts of obstacles. Think about it. Urban sprawl, power lines, habitat loss.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, the fact that they're still thriving despite all that,
It's pretty amazing.
it speaks volumes about their adaptability.
And that brings us back to that whole resilience thing. We're talking about a species that's been through so much change over millions of years. But what about the more modern threats? Things like habitat loss. How have they been adapting to that?
Well, one really interesting adaptation is their diet. So traditionally, sandhill cranes were mostly wetland birds,
Okay.
feeding on insects, plants, little aquatic creatures.
Right.
But as wetlands have been shrinking, due to development and things like that, they've actually started incorporating more crop foods into their diet.
So they're not picky eaters.
Nope. They've learned to make the most of what's available, especially during those stopovers on their migrations.
So they're taking advantage of those agricultural fields.
Big time. It's a perfect example of how a species can adapt to the changes we humans are making to the environment.
Wow. It makes you wonder what other adaptations they might come up with in the future, right? Okay, so we've covered their ancient history, their crazy migrations, their social lives.
And their adaptability, don't forget that.
Right, of course.
Uh,
So taking a step back for a second, what does all this mean for us? Why should we care about the Sandhill Cranes story?
That's a great question. Well, for one thing, sandhill cranes are what we call an indicator species. Meaning their health, how well they're doing, it reflects the overall health of our wetlands and ecosystems. So by learning about their journey, their challenges, their successes, we're actually gaining insights into how everything is interconnected.
And maybe even learn a thing or two about how we humans can adapt to our own changing world, right?
Absolutely. Their story shows that even when faced with huge challenges, resilience and adaptability are possible.
It's a powerful message for sure. So next time you're out and about, keep your eyes peeled. You might just see a flock of these incredible birds flying overhead.
Sure.
And when you hear that ancient call of theirs, that echoing sound, well, let it be a reminder of the power of resilience. And that's a wrap on another deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for listening, everybody.